Welcome back, Raptor fans. Just a quick little update. Me and my brother did a video on our recent signing, Svi Mykhailiuk, and the 2-year contract that he signed with the Raptors just a few days ago. And this is just a quick little update that came about the details on his contract and how much it was worth. And it came out saying that it was $3.6 million. The first year is guaranteed. Second year is a player option. Enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll be back soon. Peace. Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit. There's no big boy Bravs, but we got Thanos back on the podcast.
What it do?
The Raptors make another underrated signing, in my opinion. The Raptors signed a Ukrainian-born player by the name of Svi Mykhailiuk, and he's born on June 10, 1997, a 24-year-old, and he's the same age as OG Anunoby. He's a 6'7" guard, 205 pounds. Says he can also play the forward position, but based on all the Raptors signings, we definitely don't need him to play that position. He looks like a combo guard, especially from what we've seen in the past from his time in the NBA. He was the 47th pick in the 2018 draft, a second rounder, and he's not been a journeyman, but he's been with a few teams since coming to the league. He's been with the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, who drafted him, and then he got traded to the Detroit Pistons, and he's with them for a few years, and then he got traded to the OKC Thunder, and now he signs a 2-year deal with the Toronto Raptors. I want to know your first thoughts on what do you think about this signing?
I think it's a great signing. It fits our core nicely. He's 24, like you mentioned. Mm-hmm. He's 6'7", so he fits that positionless basketball that we're planning to play this season. Mm-hmm. And he's also the shooter we need, because we don't really have that much shooting. Besides the length we have, I don't really see that many shooters around us on our team. So he fits well with us. He's like an upgraded version of Matt Thomas, in my opinion, just based off he can shoot the ball for the three. He has really good handles. He can drive in whenever he needs to. And his defense may not be there, but his size is there.
I mean, he torched the Raptors last season in 2 specific games. Both games, actually. I'm pretty sure a lot of Raptor fans know this. He started playing like Steph Curry and a little bit of Luka Doncic. I mean, he was going crazy on the Raptors. I believe the one game in OKC, he dropped 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. He caught an alley-oop. He's a very underrated jumper, in my opinion, kind of like Alex Caruso when he first came into the league. And he's really a 3-point specialist, and we need a lot of that right now because, as you know, our team doesn't look like it's a team that has a lot of consistent 3-point shooters. The only 2 players I would say, or 3 players we have, are Malachi Flynn, Gary Trent Jr., and Fred VanVleet. Obviously, you got OG, Pascal, Chris Boucher, and those kind of players that have their moments, but they're not consistent 3-point shooters. And our depth chart in that guard position, we're looking for that 4th guard, especially because more than likely it looks like Goran Dragic will be moved either before the season or around the deadline time, or at least at the deadline.
Like I mentioned to you off camera, he has the size to defend other guards. He can shoot the 3, like he can do those step backs like Luka and Trae Young do. And like you mentioned, he can go in and dunk the ball like Alex Caruso. It's just those 3 things are pretty key into getting a place in the rotation. I feel like he's gonna do well, and he fits the core as is. He's only 24 right now, and he fits the size, like I mentioned. So like I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he can fit on our team pretty well.
He had that starting position with the OKC Thunder where he averaged 10.3 points. He's a 6'7" guard, and you know that size is there obviously for him to shoot over defenders. He's a little bigger than Gary Trent Jr. He's a little undersized in his weight. He's only 205 pounds. Mm-hmm. But his size helps him, like his length, and him being able to shoot over defenders definitely helps him maybe take advantage of smaller guards in the post. Yeah. He can definitely drive in the paint and shoot over people. He comes off screens, kind of like Stephen Clay, and can shoot that 3. He's really good at those unbalanced 3s, like Steph Curry. I'm seeing them in some of his highlights. He hits step-back 3s, like you mentioned. Luka, Clay, Dame, like he shoots it like that. And he's got the range. Like he's a 3-point specialist in my eyes. And that's something every team needs. And no one's going to get mad if you have a lot of those on your roster, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
He's played 4 years in Kansas, I believe from 2014 to 2018. And he had offers from other teams when he was going to college. I believe it was from Virginia, Iowa State, Oregon, and then Kansas, obviously, but he eventually ended up choosing them. He always wanted to come to the States and, pursue a college career in the States so that he could eventually get to the NBA level and improve his game. In 30 games with nine starts with the OKC Thunder last season, Svi Mykhailiuk averaged a career best 10.3 points and 3 rebounds to go along with 1.8 assists. And he's a 36.2% three-point shooter for his career, even though it's been a short career.
Yeah.
His career averages right now, since coming into the NBA, is 7.8 points, 1.8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game on that 36.2% shooting from beyond the arc. I mentioned this, our shooting guard position is very, very thin. More than likely, Goran Dragic is going to be moved. So he has all the opportunities in the world to really secure that spot for himself off the bench. And based off what he did to the Raptors, I have pretty high hopes in his potential, and with the Raptors development program, they can definitely up and get further in his career, in his young career, because as you can see with certain players like OG, even Malachi Flynn and players like that, like you see how they always improve year after year. And, when he was in Detroit, they weren't going to help him. Their development program isn't that great. OKC, I believe in them because, they got Shea and Lou Dortz and stuff like that. They're like players that they didn't, like no one thought would make such a big impact. But you saw Lou Dortz, in the playoffs against the Houston Rockets a couple of years ago in the bubble. Yeah. He really, tried to lock down James Harden and then, was dropping threes like his Ray Allen in certain games.
I just feel like if Goran Dragic gets traded, I feel like Nick Nurse can play either Gary Trent or Mykhailiuk at the shooting guard or small forward, and they could just have those two guys just running around, just getting the ball and shooting the three.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I just see that happening, and that's why I feel like he'll fit our system pretty well.
If a lot of teams do run like 3-guard lineups at times, so in those moments, he could definitely take advantage and be one of those guys that run on one side of the wing and let Gary Trent run on the other side. And you got Fred VanVleet or even Pascal Siakam, who can facilitate the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
The majority of his career has been with the Detroit Pistons, hence why you haven't seen him play that much or develop that much. But, that half a season with the OKC Thunder and that specific game against the Raptors, you saw what he could do if he gets the playing time. He averaged 23 minutes last year, shot 43.8% from the field, 33.6% from the three-point arc, and 70% from the free throw line, with 3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.2 blocks, and 10.3 points, like I mentioned. And then he's played 39 games for the Lakers in total before they traded him, basically the same year they drafted him. But that first full year that he had with Detroit, he had 56 games played. He started for 27 of those games. And he scored 9 points, 1.9 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.1 blocks, 81% from the free throw line, 40% from the three-point arc, and 41% from the field goal percentage on roughly around 22.6 minutes per game. Those are the 2 times he actually got some serious minutes. But yeah, when we start the season, do you believe he will get valuable minutes, or do you think he's going to be one of those guys?
I think like I mentioned earlier in this video, like the only downfall for Matt Thomas was that he didn't have the height to guard other players. And since Mykhailiuk has that, I feel like that's going to be one of the main reasons why he's going to stay on our team, and he's going to contribute pretty well for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a horrible defender. His height could definitely help him be a decent defender in the league. And he just needs to put a little work in the gym, get a little bigger.
Yeah, I agree.
He's still growing. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
He still has time to develop. He won't hit his prime. That's like usually like between 24 and 27.
Around that age,
Yeah, so.
Yeah. No, but also to add on to my point is just like he has a lot of stuff that he can work with, like handles. He can keep the dribble alive, I feel like, because it's just based off his performance against us. Like I've seen him handle the ball pretty well. So like that's one good thing for us. He can drive. Like it's a lot of things that he can work with. He's not like a like a one-dimensional player. You know, like
Yeah. Well,
he
definitely
has a
not.
lot of things in his bag.
Well, definitely not offensively. He has a lot of tricks in his arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But defensively, if I know obviously the Raptors wouldn't sign players that don't commit on the defensive end. Like our mantra has always been, you know, defense.
Defense. Yeah.
It's always been that. So I believe, you know, the developmental program will help him. And even though he might not be the fastest player, that he's definitely gonna be a player that definitely put out full effort on that end if he has to, you know.
Yeah.
And he's played a career total of 164 games. He started in 42. Any final thoughts, though?
I just can't wait to see how they implement him in our system, because like I feel like this is the shooter that we've always been looking for. And I know I've been saying that with Matt Thomas and stuff, but I just feel like this guy is different based off his height, everything. I just feel like he can fit pretty well with us. Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're a shooter and you can shoot at a high clip like this man can,
yeah,
he's a career high 36%. So as long as you can do that, you'll always have a position in the NBA, and you'll definitely be able to secure the bag down the road. Look at the guys like Joe Harris and stuff who can come off screens, dribble handoffs, pull up for three, unbalanced. Like, that's the thing now, right? If you could shoot, you have a spot in the league, and he could definitely.
He just needs to bring what he did against us on the Detroit Pistons or OKC, just bring it to the Raptors. That's all he needs to do.
Just drop that. If you could drop that 17-point type of game for us next season, or you can drop 22 points, 9 rebounds, then you're good to go.
Exactly.
Well, that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure
you like that shit.
But till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The price I want for sure you gon' need.